Nadia's in heaven crying right now. I lent Lucas my shoulder as we did our best to leave the hospital. We fell into one of the nearby alleys the moment we made our escape. We somehow dragged ourselves through the alley, bruising our knees so we could find a place to hide. There was no commotion, and I didn't see anyone coming after us. Maybe he left us alone because Lucas was close to death. My former teacher remained stunned and unmoving. Yoo-hoo! Lucas! Anybody in there? Knock knock! I did my best to somehow get us here, but I was at my limit too. Nadia. Nadia. Nadia! Despair and sorrow gripped my heart. I could only imagine the horrors Nadia must have experienced to be transformed into that thing, that gruesome body. I imagined her calling Lucas's name for help. Big brother! Big brother! Help me! I can hear it. I can hear it. I cried with anguish while Lucas showed no signs of emotion. A number of shadows appeared from above. Na-na-na-na-na. The next moment, behind us appeared It can't be. I saw silhouettes as tall as the fake who diverted suspicion from Lucas that night. Oh yeah, he has fakes. I forgot about that. That's how there's two of him at once in some scenes. The man with his face hidden slowly walked toward Lucas. He then grabbed his head and slammed him into the ground. What are you? Bam! Ugh. I tried to stop him, but someone struck me hard on the temple. Ouch. Mean. I lost my strength and crumbled to the ground. Fake Lucas A. He was touching Lucas's neck to check his pulse. Lucas X Lucas. Self-cessed. He then took out a familiar syringe. No! I extended my hand, but it was too late. Lucas gonna go crazy mode. The needle pierced Lucas's vein. Slowly, the liquid was injected as an invitation to madness. It was so hot. 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 My mind melted from the burning heat. Memories from the past and present swirled inside my mind.
Nadia.
Zombie, zombie, zombie. In your head, in your head. Ever since I was a child, I could only cause destruction except for my precious treasure, who used to innocently hold my hand. My vision exploded in white, and in the next moment she had turned into a monster. Come give me a hug, brother. Why? All she wanted was to live like a normal person. Why did she have to be remade into a deformed mass? The dark emotions I suppressed returned to defile my heart. Hates, 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 hates. That's a lot of hates. I hated everything that took her life. Why was my mind so clouded? I couldn't remember the person I should hate.
誰か
Someone.
私からあの子を奪った元
Please
凶を
tell me who took her life,
私が復讐すべき相手を
on whom I should take my vengeance.
教えてくれならば教えよう
Don't blame it on my husband! You piece of shit! Allow me to tell you,
すべてはあの悪魔どものせいだ
it is all because of those demons. I could hear a voice similar to mine from some unknown location.
リライバー技術さえなければ
If it weren't for Reliver technology,
あの男が遺伝子に見せられることもなく
that man would
ナ
not
デ
have
ィアが
succumbed.
作り変えられることもなかった
That man would not have succumbed to genes and changed Nadia to who she is now.
故に憎むべき元凶はリライバーそして開発者であるシアン・ブロフィワーズ
Therefore, you must hate Relivers. Hate the one who created them. Cyan Brofis. Do not hate my husband.
復讐を望むのなら
I know he's a jerk, but don't hate him.
一人残らず根絶やしにしろ
You seek vengeance and kill them all. Do not let a single one escape.
奴らを殺してお前がナディアの無念を晴らすんだ
But would Nadia want this? No. No, she wouldn't. Kill them. Kill them to bring Nadia's soul peace. That was wrong. Killing would only sadden Ceres. Oh yeah, and us too. It's enough. It's enough already. You've already done your best. I wondered, when did my student become someone so precious to me? She said Nadia was sweet and wonderful after they first met. She didn't think of her as a poor soul like even I did once. My dear beloved, the sins I carried would never disappear. But I didn't want to defile my body, that she willingly embraced with blood. He's changing. My resolve quickly vanished upon feeling a sharp pain run through my neck. Her image and voice melted into the darkness. I tried to reach out to her, but realized that I couldn't move. Kill. 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 Kill, 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 kill! The command to kill slowly seeped into my mind with each wild heartbeat. My pulse sped up and my mind went numb. All my precious emotions and memories were swallowed whole by the torrent of heat. Not the good kind. No.
私はナディアだけではなく彼女への思いすら失うのか。
Sad. Am I going to lose even my feelings for her after already losing Nadia? I could no longer conjure the memory of her warm embrace. No!
これが
I see.
本物の神が私に与えた罰だというのか。
So this is the punishment I'm receiving from the real God. I see. I see.
ただ裁かれるよりもはるかに苦しく
This is much more unbearable than simply being judged. With a final wail, I was trying to imitate an actual whale. My love was swallowed by hatred. Like Dory from Finding Nemo. Wow. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I don't know how to speak whale. The man walked away after injecting Lucas with 5 syringes. Overkill? Lucas! I somehow got back to my feet and rushed over to shake him back to consciousness, but his breathing was shallow and his face pale. After numerous seizures, his mouth was covered in blood. I wasn't sure why they'd let us go. But first, I needed to have Lucas get some medical treatments. My only hope now is to somehow get us to someone I can trust. As I try to lift Lucas onto my back, the light from a candle lit the area.
貴様ら、こんなところで何をしている？
Stop! What are you two doing there?
夜間は外出禁止の通達が全区に届けられているだろう。
The districts were notified that all citizens are prohibited from going outside at nights. Didn't exactly have a choice. 2 large men with the royal guard appeared in front of me. They were soon to be dead. I raised my voice at our unexpected fortune. Please, help! He's lost consciousness! I didn't have time to think about who I was asking for help. The men looked unhappy with being bothered by a commoner like me, but then...
おい、そっちの男、血まみれじゃないか。まさか、ブローに襲われたのか。
Something like that? I mean, technically, yes, but also no. Hey, that person, he's covered in blood. Were you two attacked by Barreau? His expression changed immediately as he misunderstood the situation.
なんだと？小娘、何があったのか、事情を聞かせてもらうぞ。
But, girl, you're gonna tell us what happened later. Of course. But please, can we take him to a doctor first?
病院ならば目の前にあるだろう。そこで治療を受ければ。
Not that one. Can we... Somewhere else, please? There's a hospital nearby. We can take him there and... Well, I went to get a doctor from there earlier, but... They kicked me out, saying they didn't want to get involved with Barreau. Which actually makes sense. I could see that happening. The two nodded, readily acknowledging the lies I spoke naturally. The two tried to lift Lucas up by first crouching to the ground, when... a shimmer. I heard something cut the air. Petals of blood bloomed across the ground and walls. Huh? The two fell to the ground as blood flowed from their necks. Lucas was slouched to the ground, but I looked at his fingertips. His cleanly cut nails were covered with warm blood. He's got cat claws. Lucas? He sliced their necks with his nails. He used to trim those things. And if he can kill someone with his nails, those nails need a trimming. That's when you know your nails are too long. If you can kill someone with them. Anyone ever have nails too long like that, where it's actually like they've actually like been able to like actually accidentally scratch themselves? I have excuse me. I have a couple times. A single swoop killed 2 trained soldiers. I held my breath. He slowly raised himself back up to his feet. Crazy boy. A crazy laugh. Nope. 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 Nope, nope, nope. Okay. His mad laughing pierced the night sky.
何が神だ。私はもうそんな不確かなものに惑わされない。
God, I'm no longer deluded by such uncertainties. His pupils dilated while his beautiful iris is contracted.
リライバーさえ
Relivers?
命を使い捨てもてあそぶ技術さえ
Is that
あ
man?
の男が作らなければ
That man had created the technology that spat upon life.
私とナディアは
Yeah, but you also
普通
probably
の
won't be
人
born.
間として死ぬことができたかもしれない。
Weren't their parents relivers? Nadia probably wouldn't have been born. You maybe? Nadia probably not. So without Scion, Nadia wouldn't even be alive probably. Just saying. Nadia and I may have been able to die as normal humans.
罪のない身でセレス君と出会うことだって。
I could have met Ceres, clean and sinless. Lucas? The only thing his eyes exhibited now was hatred. He must know that what he was saying was a desperate wish. His regrets spilled out in fitful heaves, and at times seemed to come out as questions. His sanity had completely deteriorated. He then mumbled as he breathed heavily. Kill.
殺す。私たちの悲劇に関わる
No.
すべての存在を
Or bring an end to the existence that caused us despair.
私が殺し
We'll kill every last one of
尽
them.
くしてやる。
You're making a big mistake. You're making a huge mistake. Please wait. He quickly leapt onto a nearby roof. Like Batman. I quickly turned and prepared myself to run through the alleys when a certain figure appeared.
だから言っただろう。 あの男が危険だと。
I told you before, that man is dangerous. Uncle? The Watchman of Death, who was supposedly killed and buried, came back to life and was now restraining me by the arm. Come on, Anko, we don't have time for this. Let's go, let's go, let's go! It's Mother!
あの日もこんな風が吹いていたわね。
The wind blowing like this back then.
よかった。まだ起きてたのか、マム。
There you are. I'm glad you're still awake, Mother.
あら見ろ、こんな遅くにどうしたの？
Oh, Milo. What are you still doing up?
チビたちが一斉に飛び起きて庭に出たいってうるせえんだ。
Well, the kids all woke up and keep talking about wanting to go outside. At nights.
施設の外には出ないから散歩がてら連れてってもいいか？
I know we're not allowed out, but can I at least take them into the yard? No, it is nighttime, child. It is nighttime. Get back in bed.
ダメよ、我慢させなさい。
No. You children need to stay inside.
だよな。ブローに狙われたら絶対全員死ぬだろうし。
Yeah, figured. If Burrow comes around, we're all dead. You know, like in that other route.
ええ、それもあるのだけど、
Yes, that too, but
なんだか嫌な風が吹いてるから。
I don't like how the wind is blowing now.
ああ、確かに今夜の風は生ぬるくて気持ち悪いよな。
Yeah, I feel it too. It's really muggy and gross out.
それに変な匂いもする。なんだろうな、この鉄みたいな匂い。
And it
どこから
smells,
運ばれてきてんの？
it smells weird too. Kinda like a hot iron. I wonder where it's coming from. It's blood. Imagine having so many people dead that their blood actually, like, what's the word, permeates the air and you could smell it for miles. That's when you know shit's hit the fan. Let's hope to God no one ever has to smell that. Tragedy began under the dim moonlight. A young and beautiful man's blonde hair shimmered in the darkness. His face was filled with madness as he wielded his giant halberd.
神よ、
God,
理不尽な試練ばかりを私たちに課すつもりなら、
if you're so determined to give us your absurd trials,
その力で私を止めてみればいい。
then try to stop me with that power of yours. The first victim from the residential district for many of the Relivers was a royal guard reaching out to him while on patrol. Barreau, Lucas Proust, only needed a few hours. With a population of 3,000 people, the country of Arpachel was dyed in fresh blood. He would go down in history as the worst killer of all time.
やだ、助けてくれ。
This is horrible. This is absolutely horrible. No, help!
金ならいくらでも払う。俺はまだバックアップを取ってな。
I'll give you all the money you want. I haven't backed myself up yet, so please! Within an hour, he filled the majority of Shedes with blood. Hiding inside their homes meant nothing. With his physical strength and halberd, everything fell to ruin.
死にたくない死にたくない
I don't want to die! I don't want to die!
本当の意味で死ぬってこんな恐ろしいもんだったのかよ
I never thought it would be so horrible to die for good. Screams for help burst from each house, whose doors were broken through. There was no place safe to hide. The Relivers who tried to escape were found outside and immediately executed.
臆するな。どれだけ腕が立とうが相手は一人。数で押しつぶせば
Yeah,
勝て
those
る。
numbers don't really apply to him. Fear not. He may be strong, but he's alone. We can beat him by numbers. No. The corps and the Royal Guard appeared to stop the threats. With over 50 of them, they didn't doubt their victory in the slightest. But Lucas laid waste to all of them without suffering even a scratch. Slice, sweep, thrust, crush. It's like Bop It, but more deadly. Anyone ever play Bop It, or am I just, like, that old? I actually used to love that game. Bop It. Slap it. Do 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 do. Sorry. I loved the Bop Its. They do? Oh my god, I want one. I used to play with that thing all the time, I swear. Surrounding Lucas everywhere he went were screams, blood, and bodies. Only 3 remained.
下がるな死ぬ気でこの場に押し止めろ
Don't retreat! We have to stop him here with our lives.
クーネとセルネボルどっちに逃げられてもこの国は終わるぞ
This country is finished if he escapes into Coin or Cernaval.
情は捨てて殺すつもりでかかれ
Go after him with the intent to kill.
なもん分かってるけどよ。
Hugo. Yeah, don't gotta tell us twice. Mr. Crazy Face.
冗談きついぜ。あの先代の息子がブローだ。
Still can't believe it. Leon Boss's son was Barreau? The halberd came from Hugo, who shouted as he swung his sword. It was a merciless blow without passion.
ヒューゴ
Yves rushed forward to somehow parry the oncoming halberd before it struck its mark. Instead, his collarbone was shattered. Ooh, ouch.
受け止めたわけでもないのにこの威力
I barely blocked it, but it still got me good.
まさかこんな形でリュウカ先生の実力を知る時が来るなんて
I never expected to find out how strong Lucas was like this.
真正面からやり合うのは無謀だ弾くか受け流して
It's too dangerous facing him head on. Just parry and dodge.
簡単に言ってくれんな能天気。俺はお前らと違って凡人なんだよ。
Easier said than done. I'm not a battle warrior like you guys. Yves didn't stop and focused on parrying the incoming blows. Let's go, Yves! Let's go!
どうしてこんなことを
Lucas! What are you doing? It didn't seem like Lucas heard anything that was being said. Why was he on such an evil rampage? The question couldn't be answered, and neither could his expression be seen during his furious attacks. Arrows came flying toward him, but they were swatted down with a sweep of his halberd. Adolf clicked his tongue and shouted,
あんたに託したセレスはどうしたあいつまで殺していたら俺はあんたを絶対に許さねえ
What did you do with Ceres? If you killed her, I'm gonna make you pay with your life. Ceres. That simple name was all that was needed. For a moment, Lucas stopped moving.
Oh.
Did we get to him? We activated something. He roared mindlessly, with murky black eyes. His sanity was completely lost. If so, then perhaps the massacre was something he didn't want to do. They knew how kind and compassionate he was, and they finally realized. That short period of turmoil would create a new tragedy. Lucas raised his halberd high in the air as he let out a silent scream. Everyone, run! Maybe they could have been the best of friends. Alas, the killer mercilessly, cruelly, unknowingly reaped the lives around him. Boys. I somehow persuaded the reluctant Anko to let me share the information I knew with a member of the corps nearby. We headed to Cernavel via Shedders, but... blood everywhere.
なんともひどい力任せに殺し尽くしたといった具合か。
How horrible. He massacred them all with brute force. Lucas was nowhere to be found. Death and tragedy was left in his wake. Disfigured corpses lay strewn around the area, and a smell of iron filled the air. I couldn't see a single survivor. We didn't make it on time. He said no. He said he didn't want to kill others anymore. Seeing me stumble with despair, Anko gently supported me.
すまない。私がもっと早くあの男の正体を突き止めることができていれば。
It's not your fault, Anko. I'm sorry. If only I had discovered his identity sooner.
少なくとも君を巻き込むことはなかった。
I could have at least kept you away from him. Identity. I thought you knew who he was when you told me that the deaths weren't resolved. You said the deaths related to Baroque, which is the beginning.
理由は語れないが。
I cannot disclose much to you, but
私は別の人間を犯人だと思い込んでいたのだよ。
it was under the impression that another person was the culprit. But he discovered that the person he suspected was not only innocent, but also didn't exist. Which is why he was investigated further to find out who Barreau really was. He found out it was Lucas, and was killed once by him for discovering the truth. Anko spoke with great regrets when... I hear a weak voice. We quickly moved some of the bodies that lay on the ground to find... Yves! Don't die! Yves! Adolf! They probably tried to stop Lucas in battle. I found Yves barely holding onto consciousness, while Adolf was out cold. Your wounds... Wait, let me stop the bleeding. With the help of Anko, I tore my clothes and somehow bandaged their wounds.
ありがとう。多分ユーゴも近くにいるから。
I think Hugo's around here somewhere. I'll find him. So you just... I stopped mid-sentence from utter shock, seeing the horribly injured body that we moved away from Yves earlier. Hugo? Hugo, where'd you go? Oh, he's there. He's just so messed up, we didn't recognize him. Poor Hugo. He was on top of Yves and took a horrible blow in his place. It seemed as if Yves was in such a haze that he didn't notice the body of his best friend beside him.
こらえてくれ。今彼に真実を明かすのはあまりにも酷だ。
When Yves wakes up, he's gonna be distraught to find Hugo's dead. Stay strong. It's not the right time to disclose the truth. I somehow nodded as I shook with disbelief.
イブと言ったね。自己紹介したいところだが、あいにくその時間はなさそうだ。
Yves, was it? I would introduce myself if time were not of the essence.
ブロー、リュカ・プルーストがどれだけの犠牲者を出したのか、数はわかるかい？
Do you know how many victims fell to Bureau? Or Lucas Proust?
少なくとも100人以上。
At least 100.
この短い時間にそんなにも。殺されたのは全員リライバーかい？
So many lives in such a short time. Were they our relivers? Yves nodded weakly.
マティスがブローが現れたことに驚いて
Mathis!
外に
My baby!
飛び出したら
Mathis. He ran outside, surprised to hear that Bureau appeared.
彼を守ろうと追いかけて
Gene,
きた
that's his name. That's the other
Jana.
shithead's name.
リライバーと勘違いされて
Gene chased after. Gene chased after him to protect him. But he was mistaken for a reliver. Actually, he wasn't. And
なんとかマティスは守りきって避難させたけど他にもたくさんの人間が
he somehow protected Mathis, made him run to safety. But so many died. So many. It can't be.
無理もない。肌に浮かぶ文様以外にリライバーと人間を区別する方法はないのだから。
I'm not surprised. There's no other way of distinguishing relivers from humans apart from the marks in the skin. Anko then stopped asking him questions, sensing that any more was too much for him to bear now. He then picked up an arrow snapped in two.
本当に彼は人間なのか？
Was it really human?
矢をもみ切るというのなら私の奥の手も通じないじゃないか。
If he can see arrows in the air, then even my tricks won't be effective. Like, what tricks does he even have? Apparently, Lucas has the eyesight of Superman. He can see bullets, or rather arrows, flying through the air at him. He can dodge them. Slow motion. Lucas had finally reaped the life of someone close to him. The endless despair was overwhelming. If that man was in front of me now, I'd slap him. I would yell at him to return the past he stole from Lucas, to return Nadia. But that wouldn't happen. Unlike water, time flowed only in one direction. It wasn't that I was hoping to find happiness with him. I simply wanted to spend the remainder of his life indulging the little selfishness he had. I wanted to be with him and repent with him for all he had done. But God won't even grant us such a small wish. I know it wasn't possible now, but I still couldn't hold back my tears. Uncle looked at me with a pained expression.
姫君、これで分かっただろう。彼にこちらの言葉はもう届かない。
Princess, do you see now? He can no longer hear our words.
このまま彼の命が燃え尽きるまで安全な場所に身を隠そう。
Let me take you somewhere safe to wait until his life comes to an end. Uncle's suggested course of action. I'm sorry. I can't do that.
何？
I shook my head. All this time I've been confused. So I've never once said to my teacher who had gone mad. If you can't take it anymore, you can say you want help. It's okay to voice your anger. You've saved me in the past by telling me I don't need to be strong all the time. So it's my turn to save you. I need to tell him he doesn't need to be strong anymore. I promised.
確かに彼の境遇には同情できる。だが
I understand that his situation is a terrible one, but
もう彼は許される範疇を自ら超えてしまった。
he's already gone past the boundaries of what is considered forgivable.
だというのになぜ
So why are you still? It was obvious. Because I love him. Sorry, Uncle. I know it's strange. I don't understand my feelings either. I must have looked like the fearsome death as I swirled into the midst of chaos and tragedy. Of course, I've been let down by how he deceived me for so long. But I admit, I've lost. I can't seem to bring myself to hate him, even now. My sense of judgment feels completely dull now, but still. I was sure Lucas was waiting for me, even in his madness. I see. Uncle's face warped for some reason upon seeing me smile.
君の彼への思いは分かった。
I think Uncle likes us, so it
君
kind
が
of
言っ
sucks for
たと
him
ころで
to
ど
hear
うやっ
us
て彼の強行を止める？
voicing our feelings for another man. Sorry, Uncle. I understand your feelings toward him. But how do you plan on stopping his massacre?
まさか自分が呼びかければ目を覚ましてくれるはずだなどと。
I hope you do not believe that simply calling his name will bring him back. This isn't a Disney movie? I can't just call the name of the one I love and Magically he'll come back to life? This isn't one of those fairy tales? No? Okay. Oh, sad.
綺麗事をのたまうわけではないだろうね。
In some worlds it might be that easy, but not this one. It is though? It is that easy? Lucas, come back! Poof, magically. The rest? And everyone ended happily, except for not, because he still massacred Hench's people, so, You just need a fairy godmother and a wicked witch of the east. Or west. Doesn't matter what direction. What about the little animal mascots? We need one of those too. Surely you must have a better plan. I took a breath. Of course. All the pain I felt suddenly disappeared. Because the Wicked Witch of the West is a bad witch, and the East one is the sister. Oh yeah. Forget about that. I haven't seen that movie in like so long. So... I do have a plan to stop him. But I need your help, Anko. A movie night? The Wizard of Oz. That could be fun. I don't know if I'm like... I actually used to own a series of books called like The Land of Oz. It's like... It's literally like a story. Stories from, well, the Land of Oz. I don't know if that series is actually like widely known, but I thought it was cool. But I used to own the whole set, so... I kind of wish we kept them. Honestly. I regret giving them away.
聞こ
How so? Well... We're gonna throw glass everywhere! That's what it sounds like. Sounds like a bunch of broken glass. I whispered my plan as a nearby house crumbled to the ground. After hearing my plan, Anko's expression showed disbelief, then rage.
う。いやはや、参った。
My. Unbelievable.
どうかしている。姫君、君は正気かい。
That is outrageous. Dear princess, have you gone mad? Maybe. A little bit. Maybe I've always been mad. I'm completely sane. I think. And I'm prepared to do whatever I'm prepared for whatever happens. I know it'll cause you suffering. So I'm sorry to even ask. I knew what I was asking of him was selfish, especially given how he had kept watch over me all this time. But I had no intention of stopping now.
思いとどまってはくれないのだね。
You won't reconsider, will you? Yes. He has committed so many sins that there's no going back. So my role now is to prevent him from ruining as many lives as possible. To be specific, I don't want to have anyone else stop him besides me.
まったくあの男め私の仕事を増やす罪人の分際で憎たらしいじゃないか
The bastard. How despicable that a sinner would increase my workload to this extent.
ようやく会えた私の同胞の心をこんなにも短い間に射止めてしまうとは
Do you think he was able to capture the hearts of my partners so quickly?
焼けてしまうな冥界で何度罰しても足りないぐらいだ
Lucas is in for a hell of a time in Hades. I'm quite jealous. No punishments in Hades will ever be enough for him. Hanko's voice shook as he spoke words that didn't fit the situation. I assumed it was his way of saying yes. It's one hell of a way of saying yes. Yves, I'm gonna borrow your sword. I picked up the rapier sitting on the ground next to him. I lowered my head to Anko. Will you please help me stop my teacher, who is doing too much to be strong?
姫君がそれを望むのなら
If that is your desire, dear princess.
不死の体などいくらでも差し出してみせよう
Anko's a bro, you know. I will offer you my immortal body as many times as you want. Ooh, his body. Meanwhile, in the blood-soaked courtyard, urged on by the hatred implanted into his mind, Lucas arrived at the base of Reliver technology. And yeah, I think we are redoing the same ending. So I'm gonna have to, I guess maybe, I was hoping it wasn't this, but I think that first choice, the one we saved after it was made, I think that one it was actually important. Oops. But we'll finish this off because we're near the end, just in case I'm wrong. The guards looked from afar at the man who drew blood from those around him, and was now intruding on restricted property. They knew exactly the threat he posed from hearing the tragedy that struck Chetas and the entrance of the institutes, which was why they didn't hold back in either offense or defense, showing no mercy. Some K-pop song just popped into my head. Anyone ever hear of BAP? They had a song called No Mercy back in the day. That song just popped into my head after like years. that one sentence. Lower the barrier. Don't let him get to the director.
あの方とここの設備に何かあったらアルペシエルは完全に崩壊するぞ
Arbichel will fall to ruin if he gets to him or destroys the facility. The gods drew their bows in preparation for the siege. A thick glass wall lowered from the ceiling, that's not gonna do shit.
隔壁が降りるまで残り5秒あれだけ離れていれば余裕で間に合いますよ
5 seconds before the barrier shuts. We got this place secured if he's that far away. No. The hallways and corridors leading to the lab, to which Cyan and the others had evacuated to, was shut away with barriers. He may be a monster, but he was still human. The gods swelled in a sense of victory. thinking that he wouldn't be able to break through the fortified glass wall. Lucas is like, you think that'll stop me? Nope. Lucas took a step forward, toward the gloating men. Another step forward, and then another. Lucas lowered himself, and quickly pushed off the floor. Lucas, use quick attack! Super effective! In an instant, he was in front of the guards. The death toll for the guards was now 5. Lucas boldly moved onward, past the screaming and death. None of the walls touched the floor in time, as Lucas quickly slipped under them with superhuman speed. He is Superman! No, like, Lucas actually is Superman. He has super strength. He can see, bows, which is the equivalent of bullets, flying at him in thin air in what is essentially slow motion, if he can evade all those. He can, well, he can't fly, at least not that I know of, but he has super speed. Did Superman have super speed? I forget, actually. He's pretty much Superman. Lucas is Superman. There we go. Wonderful. Everyone at the Institute was a Reliver. Which is why Lucas had no remorse or concern about killing anything that moved. Oh, hello, Farah. Welcome in. Hello. We're playing Virche. I think we're on the same end route as last week, but, you know, we'll finish it off. And then we'll get on the right one. I was hoping I was on the right one, but it's fine, it's fine. He killed and killed, but the hatred swirling in his chest didn't die.
どこにいる
Don't you touch my
シアンブ
husband.
ロフィワーズ
Where? Cyan Brofis. You're the summary of them. Yeah.
お前だけは
We're with Lucas.
私が
It's
この手で
Nadia deserved better. Poor Nadia. I'll kill you with my own hands. Okay, no, don't.
殺せるものなら殺してみろ。
Let's see you kill me then. Beyond the door he destroyed was a device used specifically to manufacture relivers and...
いやー、実に面白い。お前のような異常個体を目にするのは俺も初めてだ。
Very interesting. It's the first time I've seen an anomaly like you. So cool. Cyan claps his hands, welcoming Lucas and the destruction he caused. Lucas leapt toward his target, like a beast, but
おっと、こんな間近で観
too
察
cool
させ
for
てくれ
you.
たか。
Ha! Ha! I never expected I'd be able to observe you this closely.
お前は間違いなく教師の鏡だ。では遠慮なく探求心を満たさせてもらおうか。
I suppose it's your way of teaching me about yourself. Very well. I'll use this opportunity to satisfy my curiosity. Cyan scoffed as he evaded the strike. Cyan continued to smile while narrowly dodging the successive attacks. So cool. He's so cool. In the corner of the room was a small figure.
いやー、ハルバードの風圧がこっちまで届いてる。どんだけバカ力なんですか。
The halbert's blowing wind this far? He's stronger than I expected.
っていうかシアンさん、なんでそんな恐ろしい人相手にわざわざ挑発なんかするんです。
Cyan, why the heck are you trying to rile up such a dangerous person?
黙れ。これも戦略だ。
Shut up. It's part of my strategy.
口出ししてる暇があるならお前はとっととロックを解除しろ。俺の体力も無限じゃないぞ。
You have the time to talk. Hurry up and disable the lock. It's not like I can keep this up forever.
わかってますよ。
Understood.
ああ、もう誰ですか。こんな状況で外からハッキング仕掛けて僕らをここに閉じ込めたのは。
What the hell? Who the hell hacked into our system to lock us in here? Who indeed? That's a good question. Donut typed into the system as quickly as possible, explaining about being locked in. Cyan was focused on evading the attacks as a cold sweat appeared on his skin, still figuring out the secrets behind Lucas's power.
体育に見合わぬ筋肉の異常な発達。やはり単なる才能や体質の一言では説明できん。
His muscles are abnormally strong despite his slight figure. Mere talent and physical traits aren't valid reasons for his strength.
まさか妹とは真逆の
Could he be the opposite of his sister?
体を強化する類の遺伝子疾患。そんな症例が実在するのか。
That would make sense. A person with a genetic disorder that strengthens his body? Is that even possible? Though it was hard to believe, it would make sense that the siblings would both possess unusual muscular properties.
妹
Sister. Suddenly, Lucas stopped in his tracks.
妹私の大事なナディア
My dear sister, Nadia.
なぜ懸命に生き抜いてきたあの子が
I will agree with this. Why? She did her best to live. Why her?
あんなことに
Why did that happen? Poor Lucas. He understood it now.
お前思考の自由を奪われているのか。
Someone took away your ability to think. That was one of the worst forms of torture that Cyan could ever imagine as a researcher. Coming to that realization led him to the thought of a scientist stupid enough to do such a foolish thing. He had a hunch as to why he would do that.
ナディアに何かあったんです。
Yeah, something happened to Nadia. Did something happen to Nadia?
この前会った時、彼女なんだかちょっと元気がなくて。
She wasn't looking well the last time I saw her.
お兄さんと何かあったのかなって心配してたんですけど。
So I was worried it had something to do with you. Lucas didn't respond to Donut's words. Not fun. He suddenly went into a coughing fit and fell to the floor, spitting blood from his mouth. Poor little Donut. Run, Donut, run. Cyan could tell immediately that it was because his time was up.
どう転ぼうがさほど持たんのか。どうせなら生きたまま保管したかったんだが。
suppose the end was inevitable. If only we could have kept him alive.
リライバー化しようにも装置へ運ぶまでにまた抵抗されてはな。
Even if I attempted to make him a reliver, he would only fight me the entire way. Cyan frowned as he thought about what he could do.
シアンさん
Cyan! Still don't know if it's Cyan or Cyan. Lucas grabbed a pole of the halberd that lay next to him. No, my husband! Can't look. No! A single swipe was all it took. Cyan tried to evade the attack, but his left leg separated from his body. Lucas then used the momentum against the genius presiding over the life of his country. I hate Lucas. The halberd came swiftly from above and... Cyan broke by spraying the air with blood from his chest and fell to the ground dead. I'm gonna cry. He then destroyed the backup units in the laboratory where Cyan may have kept his stock of lives. Witnessing the destruction, Donut stuttered from where he stood near the locked gates.
冗談じゃない。あれじゃリライバーとしても蘇れないじゃないですか。
You've gotta be kidding. If he keeps that up, there's no way anyone can come back as a reliver. Donuts immediately gave up on disabling the lock. Run, Donuts, run. He then glanced at the dock large enough for his child to crawl inside. Good thing he's about the size of a child. He somehow slipped in before he became Lucas's next victim.
ナディアがどうとか言ってたけど、やっぱり彼女の身に何かあったんだ。
He said something about Nadia. Something terrible must have happened.
だって彼女の主治医のカプシーヌって絶対あのオーティさんだもん。
The doctor assigned to her was Capuchin.
ナディアは
I'm sure it must be Oti. But if so, that means Nadia is, yes, she's dead.
ママよ、諦める前にまずは調べてみよう。
They're not such a good friend. Screw it, I'm not giving up hope yet. Not waiting for the halberd to be thrown inside the ducts, Donut crawled his way through to freedom. We helped any survivors we found along the way, until we finally reached Science Institutes. The place was painted red like flames, even more than in Chetta's. We went around each room until we happened upon a certain laboratory. He's here. Lucas.
とうとう彼を手にかけてしまったか。
So finally killed him, I see. He was looking down with an expression at what was once Cyan. Cyan! He slowly turned around and looked at us with dull eyes. He reacted like a child, tightly gripping the blood-stained halberd in his hands. I could only assume he would try to kill me without realizing what he was doing. I'm sorry to keep you waiting, and I'm here for you. Look at you, always acting so rashly when you're left alone like this. You must be tired. Why don't you have a rest? None of my words reached him. He probably recognized me as one of the Relivers he was bent on killing.
ダメだ。
No.
リライバー殺さないと。
Reliver.
殺さなければ。
Need to kill.
またすべてを 奪われる。
Or else lose everything.
ナディアも
Your deer's right in front of you. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Hello, Lucas. I'm your deer. Can you stop, please? Nadia and my deer.
もう取りこぼさない。今度こそ私
You won't lose anyone anymore.
守りきってみせる。
I will protect them with all my might. His time was warped and trapped in an illusion, and he would never get it back. His wish could no longer be fulfilled. Lucas embraced himself, as if he was trying to hold back from crying. It was then that Anko moved in front of me. He asked me a question with his back turned to me.
最後にもう一度だけ確認するよ。
I will ask you once more.
本当に
Are you
良い
sure?
のだね。
I knew what kind of end we would face. Yes, I'm ready. I took a deep breath and nodded. I'm sorry to drag you into my selfish plan.
何？これは力及ばなかった。私の罪だ。
Why? It's my own fault for being unable to prevent this outcome.
さようなら、セレス。いつか冥界かどこかで再会しよう。
Farewell, Ceres. We will meet again in Hades one day. The moment Lucas disappeared, something hard dropped from Akko's pockets. It bounced a few times on the floor and a white smoke immediately filled the area. I could vaguely hear Lucas groan in confusion from the lack of vision. Using the opportunity, I dashed from behind Anko. Lucas! I yelled his name at the expense of ruining my throat. As expected, Lucas mistook my shout for a battle cry from one of his enemies, so he quickly swung his weapon. Red blood bloomed across my chest, like a flower. Oh, it is different. Struck by his swing, I dropped onto the floor in my own pool of blood. Ugh. The open wound burned. My body went into shock from the excruciating pain in my chest. I tried my best to raise my head as I gasped. I saw my teacher in front of me, looking down at me with confusion. His face and hands. His whole body was covered in the blood that sprayed from mine. Okay, so this is different because last time, everything was the same except for, Anko. Anko was the one that was hit by the blow. His eyes held no lights. My eyes were starting to lose their lights. We looked at each other with our eyes which were similar, yet very different. Noticing his eyes shake, Lucas. I exerted what strength I had left to extend my hand to him.
Huh?
He killed me. He probably didn't know who I was or how I was related to him. Despite his lack of understanding, he tried to respond by reaching out to my empty hand. There was so much I wanted to tell him, but I had so little time. Before my shaking hand could meet his, I love you. Then we died. It fell to the floor, lifeless. Lucas stared at his hand that lost its way. He then looked around to see that the man who acted as her shield had disappeared. The white smoke dissipated to clearly reveal the carcass of the once living girl. He tilted his head in bewilderment, then...
Ceres-kun.
Mm-hmm. With no one else to kill, light returned to Lucas's eyes. He finally noticed that the body that lay in front of him matched the smiling person in his memories.
Oh.
She risked her life so that he could regain his sanity. But that very sanity shattered into oblivion. Yeah, he literally just lost the very last thing he had to live for. Lucas dropped to his knees, then gently lifted her lifeless body onto his arms.
Ceres-kun? こんなところで眠っていたら風邪をひいてしまいますよ。
Ceres, you're going to catch a cold sleeping out in the open like this? He gently shook her, but her eyes didn't open.
Ceres-kun?
Ceres?
Ceres-kun? 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 Ceres-kun?
He sounds like a broken machine.
Ceres-kun?
Ceres, 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 Ceres. The warmth he felt through her clothes was slowly fading away. Still, Lucas turned his eyes away from reality.
眠ったふりで先生にいたずらをしているつもりなのでしょうか。
Come now, don't tell me you're pretending to sleep so you can trick your teacher.
だとしたら君はとても悪い子ですね。
If so, you're a bad girl. Lucas held Ceres in his arms as he slowly headed outside the institutes. Why was he here? Why was everything so red? Why was she sleeping? Why was she cold? Why was she bleeding? Who knows? Maybe you killed her. He couldn't quite remember what happened, but he at least knew that he needed to do what he needed to do in that moment.
もう誰かの思惑に振り回されるのには疲れてしまいました。
I'm tired of having someone command me to do the bidding.
最後に一つだけやるべきことを遂げたら
There's only one thing I need to do. And once that's done,
君が言ってくれた通り私もも
I will finally rest.
う休むことにしましょう。
Just as you said.
もちろん君も一緒ですよ。
Of course.
セレス君。
You will be with me, Ceres. He gently kissed her closed eyes with his blood-covered lips. Lucas left the Institute to bring an end to the final demon who was getting in the way of his happiness. Your happiness is gone, Lucas. I'm sorry. A few months later, Lucas Proust, known as Barreau, became the greatest killer in history of the land. He killed countless relivers, including the researcher Cyan Brofis, and destroyed the devices needed to manufacture relivers. It also seemed he infiltrated the Society of Exorcists. The body of the minister Capuchin was found mutilated to the point it was hard to recognize it once belonged to a human. Good. Next to his body was a wedding dress, torn to shreds, its owner nowhere to be found. The entire land of Apachel fell into despair from the mass murders and chaos caused by this one man. But a world separated from the commotion existed. Inside a cave, hidden atop the oceanside cliffs, were two lovers. Oh.
お待たせしました、セレス君。すみません。用意するのに時間がかかってしまいまして。
Sorry to keep you waiting, Ceres. It took much longer than expected to get everything ready. Lucas placed a brilliant ring onto the finger of his most beloved. A very bony finger. She was unused to her new environment. Her fingers had quite... No, that's not the reason, hon. Her fingers had gotten quite bony, far more than he initially expected. If you don't notice, that's a freaking bone! That is not a finger. Honey, open your eyes. Ceres was wearing the veil that was given to her by Nadia, and quietly accepted the ring.
よく似合っていますよ。
It suits you very well.
海に返したナディアもきっと喜んでくれているでしょう。
I'm sure Nadia is happy too, looking on from the ocean. Lucas gave a gentle smile. A cold and heavy iron birdcage protected Ceres's body. He knew it was somewhat extreme, but it was all for the sake of protecting her.
もう二度と大切なものを失うことがないように。
Never again. I'll never lose another precious person.
誰にも傷つけられないよう大事に大事にしまい込む。
I will make sure no one can hurt you. I will keep you safe from the outside world.
大丈夫。君のことは何があっても私が守りますから。
Don't worry. I'll protect you no matter what.
この汚れた魂に誓って。
I swear on my defiled soul. But Dad...
こうしているとまるであの日に戻ったようですね。
Now that we have time, it feels like things are back to how they used to be.
あの時の私は一方的な、それも間違った愛情を君に向けていましたが。
Back then, I was blind and tried to force my love upon you in the worst possible way.
今は違う。
But things are different now. I mean, things are different now. You asked for my hand in marriage. So, why don't you see me as part of your family? That was why he prepared this ring. He lifted Cerez's hand and gently kissed her pale finger, with the ring to show that he had answered her question.
愛している、セレス。
I love you, Cerez.
こんな罪深き男を受け入れてくれるというのなら、
If you will accept such a sinful man as myself,
私の家族になってください。
please let us become a family. He whispered his vow. Lucas smiled, knowing that he was finally able to ask for her hand in marriage. He wasn't sad about not hearing his precious bride's response. In his eyes and ears, I'd love to. He heard her words and could see her smiling face before his eyes.
だが、なぜだろ
But why?
う。嬉しいはずだというのに、それ以上に
I know.
心がひどく痛い。
I know I'm happy for this moment, but my heart aches terribly. His pain slowly turned into heat. He quickly turned his face away from Cerez, so she wouldn't smell the blood on his breath. Several drops spilled over and trickled down his chin. He had lived quietly here with Cerez for some time, until he approached the end of his life.
さすがにもうそろそろでしょうか。
I see that my time is about up.
薬が抜けて一度持ち直したとはいえ、
I was able to cleanse myself of the drug in my blood.
かなり持った方ですね。
It lasted much longer than I thought. Lucas chuckled as he thought of how even monsters like him couldn't fight death. He wiped the blood from his mouth and gently caressed Cerez's cheek.
この血塗られた身が寿命を全うできるだけで恵まれた幸福ではありますが、
I should be happy and thankful that my bloodstained body is able to live life to its limits, but
セレス、君を残していくことだけが心苦しい。
Cerez, It hurts me to know that I'm leaving you behind. For a moment. Just a moment.
怖い。死にたくない。
I'm afraid to die.
君ともっと生きたい。
I want to live longer with you.
幸せになりたい。
I want to live happily. Foolish hopes came to mind, but he knew a grave sinner didn't have the right to wish for such things. But if he could be granted one wish,
セレス、どうかこの命が終焉を迎えるその瞬間まで
Ceres,
私のそばに。
please stay by my side until my life fades away. That's the true despair ends. Yay! I guess I'm glad to know that I was on the right route, the right path. I mean, in its own way, stop. Actually, no. I was gonna say, oh, we could be together in death, but if the other ends is anything to go by, he's going to hell, we're going to heaven, so we're not meeting again. So yeah, there's nothing. Yay! Your fastest route has been unlocked!
ああ、その指輪とても似合っていますよ。君の白い指によく映える。なぜ愛は永遠なのに命はそうではないのでしょうね。
In another world, maybe we did live together
君
longer.
ともっと生きたかった。
We got the CG as the home screen, so we did it right. Yay!